Today is Financial Friday with Buckingham Strategic Wealth, and wealth advisor Joe Irish is here to help us understand the expected cost of healthcare in retirement. First of all, welcome to Studio 10.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, all right. So this is kind of an interesting topic that maybe when we're not thinking of it, it kind of gets away from us, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, we should have thought about retirement when we were younger.
Yeah, so medical costs are just one of our clients' largest concerns. They're always talking about what's their medical costs going to be, and even when they're working towards retirement. And so an average, as an an average couple can expect they're going to spend more than $300,000 on medical costs in retirement.
Wow.
So
wow.
it's a real number.
It's a big expenditure. And when we talk about health savings account, we've all heard HSA, but we maybe don't know exactly how that's different from maybe like a flex savings.
Yeah.
There's some differences that are notable, and HSA can be good for us.
Yeah, so we're incorporating HSAs as like a health retirement account. So a health savings account, not everybody can use those. Folks that have a high deductible qualified plan can put money away for those, and they do that tax-free. And so then they can spend on medical costs as they're working as well, but also any extra money they also can potentially invest for the future in health savings accounts. So it's nice to think about them. They're actually a triple tax benefit account.
Okay.
The money goes in tax-free. When you take it out for qualified medical expenses, it's not taxable, and then any growth on that account also is not taxable as long as you use it in the future for medical expenses.
And what's nice about an HSA versus like a flex saving, I know at the end of the year, flex saving goes away if you don't spend it, and
That's
HSA
correct.
Can roll over, right?
So that's one of the things people are starting to get used to health savings accounts, because flexible spending accounts were what we used to have.
Yeah.
And then health savings accounts came around, and people they got used to only spending what they could use, and sometimes they lost funds. Where a health savings account actually is like an IRA. You put money in there and it rolls over and accumulates over time. You never lose that money. It's actually your money forever. So no matter what amount of money you put in there, and again, as long as you use it for medical expenses, it'll accrue tax-free and it comes out tax-free.
That's kind of nice. And talk to me about, I know you were saying there's a lot of dollars on the table in HSAs that aren't being invested.
Yeah, so at the end of 2022, it's expected there will be over $100 billion in health savings accounts. And roughly today, only about 20% of those dollars are actually being invested.
Wow.
And less than 10% of the people that have accounts actually use them as investments.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of money that's sitting in a bank account, a health savings bank account that's just sitting there not accruing any money. And again, that can build tax-free. So we're working to get people to use those as investment accounts too, to grow tax-free.
And that's kind of an error, right? If they're just sitting there not making any money for us, how can we make these HSA accounts work for us?
Yeah, so the error is that, yeah, if you're accumulating money in these HSAs, again, you can put, as a family, you can put $7,300 in 2022 in there. And you may not have that many expenses in 2022. So intuitively, you would want to, if you can, let those investments grow just like your 401k or an IRA account. So you want to make sure that you're using an institution that will allow you to also invest in those accounts.
All right, raise your hand if you used a flex spending, and then at the end of the year, you were just buying first aid kits because you had to spend them on medical stuff, right? We've all been there. So this is kind of a smart way to do it.
Yeah, and it's just a great way, because if you can afford to put more money in them, again, they're tax-free. So you can put money in and it's a tax deduction, or if it goes through your employer, it comes out just like a 401k tax-free. And you can save it in there, and then you can invest it. And you can always use it. And again, I've already spoken to just the sheer dollars of expenses you're going to have.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to lose that money. And as long as you take it out for medical expenses. And the list of qualified medical expenses is quite large. It's actually larger than you might think. Like aspirin qualifies.
That's good.
Eye solution for your contacts qualify as these medical deductions.
Okay. So if people are interested in what you're having to say today, where can they get more information? Where can they connect with you?
They can connect with me two ways. One, call me on the phone, 517-627-1412. And then also our website's pretty easy to remember. It's prepareforretirement.com.
All right, Joe, I appreciate you stopping by Studio 10 and giving us that knowledge. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for your time.
All right, Studio 10 continues after this.